Welcome back, One Piece Pirates, for another gameplay commentary video. Thank you guys so much for all the support you've given me into this channel. I'm really appreciative of all the support and love we've gotten, and I'm glad to see this channel growing. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. And as always, if you guys enjoy the content, please leave a comment down below. We can discuss it. I do respond to a lot of the comments, and even consider subscribing, potentially, right? So right here we have a matchup between one of the decks that I thought was the coolest, what I would say is more my pet deck, Burple Crocodile into Kaido. Now, we've got 4 dual color leaders, I believe. We've got Burple Crocodile, Burple Kaido, and then Red Green Law and Red Green Luffy. Now, Red Green Law and Red Green Luffy, they tend to swing into the more aggressive side of the decks. Therefore, the purple matchup doesn't feel terrible. But these slower decks in the Burples feel really, really bad because you're already starting at 4 life, and then you're playing a slow deck, so therefore you're playing into Kaido's strength, which is a long game where they can get to burn you with their hero power, meaning that we're basically starting at 3 lives. So the idea of trying to maintain this deck within those limits and not being too defensive, we have to play cards that are just a little bit bizarre. So I'm hoping that those cards come up and you guys can see what we got cooking in the Burple list. Let's go ahead and start this video. It's going to go a little bit fast here, but a lot of the turns are going to look a little strange. So we go ahead and play the rock, paper, scissors. Then we're going to decide on Mully. It looks like Kaido already deciding to mulligan. And being a little new with this deck, I don't know what good or bad hands look like, per se. So I decided to keep, and this is kind of like a theme that I did with this deck. I went ahead and put 5 just by, mistake. So I just put it back to the top, and then I draw for turn. Now, this 7-drop Crocodile, this card has been stunning me left, right, and center. This card is really, really good. I have been pleasantly surprised. And here we go with one of our first weird cards. I forgot her name, but maybe Miss 2. She's a 3-cost 4K that on KO draw card. So all she requires is 1 Dawn to get into the attack range. So I go ahead and I play that Dawn, put her at 5k threshold, and I just swing it in, and I'm just swinging. So here I still have 5 Dawn active. He gets the Who's Who on the Crocodile trigger. It triggers my KO. I take an extra draw here, and then I go ahead and play Miss All Sunday. So I'm glad I went ahead and ordered this correctly, because had I played Miss All Sunday before the attack, he could have Who's Who'd the Miss All Sunday, and then without any targets in the trash, I wouldn't have gotten her very, very good effect. But we're already at putting our opponents down to 3 life, and we had just started the game. Our deck is very defensive, so we're just going to defend at all costs here. We keep 1 Dawn open just to kind of, not bait, but like maybe use our Desert Spada here, because we want to start fueling events in our trash. So I go ahead, he puts 2 Dawn, putting it to 5. I know I ditched the Virgo. Again, Virgo is one of these weird 7-drop cards that we need to play to beat Eustace Captain Kidd. He goes ahead and swings with Kaido. I trigger my spell here, and I go Desert Spada. Now, Desert Spada isn't as great in this deck as it is in Doflamingo, but it's still a fantastic counter, as it can set up our next couple draws. So now I'm very sure of what I'm drawing this turn, so I can clear easily this Who's Who, no problem. And then I can go ahead, tap 7 here, and I have tempo with Crocodile. Now, this Crocodile is really, really good. As the banish effect, really has everything going for it. The issue is, my opponent is just going to be at 10 Dawn here, thanks to Onigashima. So this Crocodile really is what allows this blue-purple deck to function in its most peak form, because not only does it apply pressure, it has a really good stat line, it has the banish effect. It's an overall really, really good card. Again, with a 7-cost tag, it makes sense that it does everything and that it needs to. So it is a very expensive card, and I really wish for it to stay on the board, but we'll see if I'm able to even keep it. I see he's tapping quite a bit here, so I do get a turn with the Crocodile. He goes for the 7-drop King. Just gonna go ahead and automatically destroy my Miss All Sunday. This is gonna go ahead and give me back the Desert Spada. I'm gonna go ahead and just pitch another Virgo. There's just no time for me to play that card, unfortunately. So here we go. We get to do a little bit of gaming now. We got a turn where we have the Crocodile with us. Gonna go ahead and pitch 5 for the Queen. I'm gonna go ahead and minus 1 Dawn here, but I'm at 10 Dawn, so I don't mind taking this minus. I go ahead and drop Mr. Fuki. I'm just gonna mess it up. But Big Head is mostly there once again. Big stat sticks. I just need weird outs to King. So this is where we're thinking. This is where our thought process is at. So he's going to go ahead and Thunder Bagua here to stop the Crocodile hit. Now, Crocodile swinging for 9. I do keep 1 up, which again threatens the Desert Spada. I do have a Queen on board. I am just removing a ton of cards from his hands, and he basically has like 4 cards in hand at this point. With 3 life, I'm still all the way up at 4. Big chillin'. He's gonna go 5 me in the face, and this is something I gotta do a little bit of thinking on. I don't have a lot of combo power in hand by what I'm seeing, so I might want to decide to take this hit, but I decided just to block it. Casual 6k. It looks like he's shipping everything at my face. He's still at 10 Dawn, so this is just telegraphing a 10 drop Kaido. So I have to think if I want to go ahead and take this hit, or try to defend it. Now I know I'm getting 10 dropped, so I'm doing a lot of thinking here. Fortunately, I see it coming, but I'm not sure if I can defend it. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Desert Spada. This is free, so I'm going to go ahead and fully resolve my Desert Spada. I am at less cards, so I'll go ahead and draw the card that I Desert Spada, and then I'll go pitch this. And there we go. We do see the 10 drop coming down as expected. And we just got to start getting some Crocodile double dip value now. I still don't want to take any damage because once again, he's now going to have this 12k that I have to constantly deal with. And then he's going to be, also available to get to his burn very, very soon thanks to the stage. So this Crocodile, this burple Crocodile always wants that 1 Dawn just to trigger its effect on my turn and my opponent's. I haven't hit any Baroque Work cards, and I don't think throughout the entire match I hit the Baroque Work spell. Just straight up do not hit that card. I go ahead and play a Bond Clay, as Bond Clay will let me go ahead and dig for some cards. I'm going to play the X-Drake too. I'm just going to dump my hand. I'll put my opponent on 1 card and say, go. Yeah, I'll take some damage here, and I'm fine with it, but I'm going to start putting some pressure and control the hand size as much as I possibly can. So he goes ahead and taps the stage. It's all the way up to the win down to 4 to 5, 7. He's at 8 with one rested. Yeah, I'm asking him, can you just let me know how much Dawn is left? Oh, I think he forgot to put his Dawn there. There we go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pitch this queen. Like he just keeps going for these 5Ks. I have to keep defending, and then yeah, this 12K finally will go ahead and connect. Yeah, something I can do about that guy. God bless. And he passes turn floating a ton of Dawn, but he does just have like 2 cards in hand, so the potential of me hitting finally something is really, really high. So Bond Clay here, or Mr. Bond Clay, I'm gonna go ahead and look for a an event spell with the Baroque Work title. Unfortunately, I completely whiff, and there are quite a bit in my deck. The Sobbles, the Baroque Work, the Spada. I don't know. It is what it is. So I'll 5 him, I'll 6 him, and then I'll 7 him. I'm able to finally just get 1 damage in, which is not great for all of this Dawn placement that I went ahead and did, but I still leave 1 card in hand. I have Dawn available, but it's not looking great right now. He goes ahead and plays, I'm not sure the name of this card. It's a 5 drop that is 6k on play. If you have more than 8 Dawn, just draw a card. Interesting. It's not a bad card. A lot of these purple decks just playing different things nowadays. It's still one of the first couple weeks of One Piece, so a lot of the lists are very not completely optimized. He goes ahead and attacks into the X-Drake. X-Drake will have to go down. There's no way I'm defending a 5 into a 12 with 2 cards in hand. And he goes to 7 me in the face. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Love Beam, trigger effect, double draw, baby. And now we just got to start crocodiling. We got to start drawing some cards here. I'm going to go ahead and put one under Miss, I believe she's Miss 2, 5k. I'll go ahead and swing with Bond Clay. Trigger effect. Just don't hit it. And then I'm just going to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And it looks like he just didn't hit the combo power. And that's something you can do with purple sometimes. You start noticing they're not comboing at specific points. He took the 5, which was really sus. And I was like, well, if you're going to take the 5, maybe you'll take the 8. And he's, oh, he took the 8. I'll take the 10, brother. So it's just nice that you can sometimes just clear out games. You see that their Dawn is tapped, and you can just play a little bit more aggressive into them. And we were just talking. He's like, oh, do you even play any Baroque Work spells? And I'm like, yeah, I play like, I believe 10. And Bond Clay whiffed twice. So off the top of the deck, whiffed twice. But it is what it is. We were still able to take it, so you can't be too upset. So I go ahead and look at my hand here. Again, it looks kind of okay. But I feel like the most important card in my deck for this matchup has to be the Miss 2. I need that early 3-drop 5k that's just applying pressure. And it's a card he doesn't want to knock out because on KO it just draws me a card. So it's just this weird card that just constantly puts pressure. The cards that I want in my opening hand are going to have to be Miss All Sunday, Miss 2, and things like that. So I know I've probably butchered her name like 10 times already, but it is a very underused card. You can't blame me. So I'm at 4 Dawn here. not in like a great position. Like I don't really know what I want to do. He went ahead and 5K'd me, played stage on curve again. I played against so much purple this Saturday, and they just always had stage. These the purple players at my local are just absolutely nuts. I don't attach any Dawn to Crocodile this turn because I want to keep one active so I can, you know, if he goes to swing at me, I can use it, and then my Miss All Sunday can go ahead and go to the trash and then gain me the card back. As instead of just, you know, trying to draw a card with the Crocodile. The 5K attack already connected, so I can't be too upset. And he goes ahead and plays the 6. I assume it's King, but it's actually Brachial Bomber. Yeah, that just is what it is. So Brachial Bomber is my 1K blocker, but I understand, you know, Miss All Sunday do be slapping. Then he goes and uses the freshly acquired Dawn to go and 6 me in the face. But I do combo out with the 2K. So I got to decide on what I want to do here. At this point in time, I do notice that I do have an extra Dawn. And I just place that Dawn into Crocodile, keeping one up for a Desert Spada, or a Blast Breath. But, you know, I feel very safe just keeping one up with this deck. One on Crocodile, just 6. Keeping one up feels very, very comfortable. And I go ahead and drop this 4-drop. Now, this 4-drop is another weird card. My deck is just full of weird cards. So what this card does, it's a 5K on KO, delete an opponent's character that is cost 5 or less. So I go ahead, I play the Blast Breath. It's going to super over combo, but I just need to start drawing cards. And then, yeah, the Kaido's going to come in, hit me. So I do get one from life. I draw one from Crocodile, draw one from life, draw one from top of the deck. So I go ahead and I draw 3 there, which is pretty nice. Cannot complain. But I am going to die to this Kaido at some point in time. That guy is big. And my opponent does have just a ton of cards in hand. So it's going to be very difficult to like push through this. So I'm going to go ahead. I drew another Miss All Sunday, God bless, because she's really going to help cycle some of my spells, specifically Blast Breath here in this event. So I leave 3 up, swing at the face, pass to my opponent. And yeah, so this Miss All Sunday is just going to have to like keep this Kaido at bay for a little bit while I gain advantage, and then use my advantage to try and beat the Kaido. I say try because he's just so big, dude. It's so crazy what the purple deck can do. I have no joke. I think I had my opponent one game just have 3 Kaidos on me, and it's just like, yup, Kaido. So he goes ahead and plays King. King's to All Sunday. I go ahead and I add the Blast Breath back to my hand. He's going to go ahead and swing. I do pitch the Virgo. 5 is just not enough. You got to make me work for it, brother. He goes 10 this time. I have 3 up. With 3 up and 1 Dawn under the Crocodile, I'm like, you know what? I'm down for this. I'm going to go ahead and pitch the Queen first, which will get me low enough. So I go to 10. I'll double draw because of Love Beam as well as Crocodile's effect. And then I will pitch this Crocodile. As much as I think this card is fantastic in this deck, I don't think I have the time to play it down. There's just too much pressure that is staring me down at this point in time. And I need to answer it one way or another. So I go ahead and I swing 6. I drop down a Queen. I need to start just seeing some pieces. I'm Dawn -1, obviously. And then I have 3 Dawn left. But what do I do with this down? Go ahead and I pitch a Blast Breath. That's very sussy. And I just pass. Yep. Kind of what this deck does. I try to hit you with my leader. I try to run you out of resources with my big boys and my weird cards that have weird board control, and then I try to keep advantage using my event spells. It is very long. These games are very long. This is very much sped up, and by the end of this game, I think my opponent was like, man, this deck is annoying. Because it's very difficult to just kill you with this deck, especially if you're playing Kaido. So he goes ahead, swings with the King. Go ahead and I tap here. Play Desert Spada, trigger the effect to go ahead and stack. And then I'll go ahead and pitch to finally full block here. Yeah, and we're sitting pretty. We're just not taking damage. So this Kaido will connect, unfortunately. Yep, gotta do what I gotta do. And then he'll play another Queen, and it's starting to look a little bleak for me. This deck doesn't really have great wide board control. And the board is not just wide, it is also tall, because we've got just big Kaido and King and Queen, and decides to burn me here, which I'm not sure if it's correct or not. But at this point in time, it is the situation that the Kaido wants to be in. It's a game that I opened a lot slower, He opened the stage, Brachio, Kaido, King. Like, okay. Nice purple deck, dude. So it passes back to me. I go ahead and I drop my own king. My king is going to go ahead and take over this blocker. And once again, I have to somehow try and close out this game. I'm not even sure if I possibly can. I go ahead and I tap 3 here. I need to just play cards that allow me to really push. And unfortunately, keeping 1 Dawn up here without a Dawn under the Crocodile feels really bad because any spell that I use or event spell is just not going to get me the value that I want it to. And I think I just straight up just die here. It's very difficult for me to defend this. Even with the 2 blockers, they're going to have to go, which removes a lot of pressure from the board and makes it very difficult to finish lethal. So he goes ahead and swings with the king. No Dawn attached at this point in time. Even though they have 5 open Dawn, perfectly. It's a good play. And here's a mistake from me. I go ahead and I block with this queen, and I pay the 2k cost to try and save it, because my thought process is I can then use it to potentially clear the board. But it's just rough, man. I have 2 blast breaths in hand. Not great for me. I do have 1 more blocker, and the blocker has to be used on the 10 drop. But if I just get who's here, or like I just basically lose. So I'm not really playing around it at this point in time. So these swings are coming in weird succession. He goes up ahead and plays another 2-cost blocker. Swings. I block with Miss All Sunday. Miss All Sunday is going to go ahead and add me a Love Beam. And then he passes turn. So I draw a card for turn. And then we'll see if we can try to bring this board back. We do have 2 equivalent cards. I have a king. He has a king. I have a queen. He has a queen. But the queen turning sideways most certainly spells doom for me. And he does have the 2k blocker, which just makes everything all the more strange. He has a couple cards in hand, I think 3. So everything from here is going to look a little crusty. So I go ahead and I 8 the king. He goes ahead and blast breaths it. Or... oh boy. Yeah. Just too tough. I go ahead and 8 the queen now. He lets the queen go, but now I'm basically stuck in a situation where my queen has to turn sideways to try and clear something, but if it does, it just gets chump blocked by the 2-drop, and then I most certainly die to the king, Kaido, and leader. Now, being at 0, very scary for me here. These are the board states that are just difficult to deal with when it comes to a purple deck, because they just outvalue you just so unbelievably hard. He goes for my face here. I trigger the Love Beam to double draw because of the Crocodile effect. And we are going to be able to combo pretty heavily here. We might even survive. But the problem is, even though we're surviving, what else are we doing? Goes ahead and plays another of this 5-drop, draw a card. Goes ahead and swings at face. Yes, the easiest Virgo of my life. He goes 10. I can block it with the queen. I do try to defend this queen because potentially I can go ahead and live. You know, try to clear the board with using this queen. And I have drawn a bunch of cards here, but they're just not cards that do much. I did draw the 6-drop queen, so I go ahead and pay the 6. I go ahead and -1 Dawn. Yeah. I minus the king, making it a 5k. My queen is now 5k. I have a Desert Spada and a Miss 2 in my hand. So I have a 1k and a 2k. But if I just use Crocodile's effect, I should be in a mighty fine spot. I go ahead and try to swing into the king. I 6 at 5. He 2ks. I want to try to leave as much Dawn available as humanly possible, but it's just so tough. I go ahead and 8 it. He uses Bagua. He doesn't even use the blocker, and I am just dead in the waters. Certainly I can't stop this turn. Yeah. This was literally my whole Saturday, man. I swear, people just went Onigashima into like the craziest curve of all the top end, and they're just like, very cool. So then he swings with this new interesting card, but it is just, either way, it is a 6k vanilla. So he is 8 in the face right now, and I go ahead and I play the Desert Spada. look at the top 3. I don't hit any of like the really super good combos, so I bottom deck it, draw off the Crocodile, and my draw isn't good enough for me to even continue the game. I know that I can't block the whole board that's coming at me, so I just decide to scoop it up and go into game 3. That's kind of nice about Desert Spada. It lets you know that you're already dead. So yeah, that is literally how the matchup should go, right? This is most probably the worst matchup for any of the burple decks, because if they just hit, besides hitting their crazy curve, the fact that Kaido's hero power can just remove 1 more life of the already low life total that you start with is just not great. So I look at my hand, and this one's not looking as good. This is a pretty easy mulligan. Now after I've played literally a couple games with this deck, I'm starting to understand what I want to see and what I don't want to see. Go ahead and big shuffle here, pass back to my opponent, and hopefully we get a hand that just has a little bit more early game aggro. I really don't want to use my Miss All Sundays as early as I did last game, because he's noticed that he needs to like just crack them. But I do open the card that I want to see, the X-Drake, the Miss 2. So, and I see, I believe, 2 Miss All Sundays. So I know from this point in time that I'm in a really good spot. So I go ahead, play my 3 Cos Vanilla. He forgot his life. You know, whatever, this is locals. It is what it is. Try not to do that, guys, in a more serious tournament. That's probably ends in a game loss. And Onigashima 3 games in a row. I swear to you, it was my entire Saturday. They just did not miss this card. But I guess, yeah, that's the life we live. Me pitching Miss All Sunday here, kind of sus. I must admit, kind of sus. But it is what it is, so we're going to go ahead in 5. He takes it, and we're probably going to go ahead in 6. Yeah, this is Crocodile. We're crocodiling. This is what Crocodile gameplay looks like, baby. And then I think I go ahead and I do just draw into another one of her, and I'm like, I'll take some early pain, and by early pain, I mean probably 1 life, to put 2 of these on the board. That's just how much pressure this card puts on by herself, which is so funny. It's just kind of troll that, you know, she does this. He finds another 2-drop blocker, taps the Onigashima, plays another 2-cost blocker. So you've got 3 2-cost blockers, and he pushes for 5. I decide I'm just not going to take any damage. This is a very scary board state, because even though they're 3Ks, they very easily can become 5Ks. So I 5, and yeah, yep, she's just gaming. She's really just, yep, pushing through these little weenies, and I just keep 4 Dawn up. Looking good to me. I am at 4 cards in hand, so I'm in Crocodile range. Again, I just don't draw Baroque Work, by the way. That card is, in my opinion, one of the best cards in my deck to use Crocodile's effect on my turn, as well as the following, but I just don't seem to draw it. Excuse me. So yeah, he, like I said, just ramped up all the way up to, you know, they not only do they have the stage, they do have the top end to go with it, but it is fortunate that it hits a KO'd character that just draws me a card, and he swings with the 10. I'll Love Beam. So by pitching a card from my hand, I do draw back to the 4-drop total. I play the Love Beam and go down to 3, double draw because of the Crocodile, and then I play Ball and Clay, and we're good to go. And it's just perfect block, and then I'm just like 5 to the face. It's just kind of funny, but I must admit, she felt really good in this deck. It just is something that my opponent does not want to deal with, and I just Miss All Sunday, pass, and I float 4 Dawn. If he tries to swing at me, I just chump block with the Miss All Sunday, add back the Love Beam. Love Beam again, double draw 1 more time. We're okay. We're gaming. We're doing a little bit of gaming. We pass back to my opponent. My opponent at 7 at this point in time. He goes ahead and just puts 3 under Kaido, and then I don't know why he put 3 under Kaido. Is kind of weird because he knows I've kept 4 Dawn up, and Love Beam is just like the perfect counter to 8. It's just a 1 Dawn too short. I go and Miss All Sunday, pick that Love Beam right back up. Go, buddy. And our board state has not changed whatsoever. Kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I must admit. And I think my opponent just passes here. Just, you know, the frustration of playing these really long grind games, it will get to you. And I just 1 Dawn under her, 5 again. So that's a 2K on 6. Show me another. I demand an answer, and I'm still at 4 life, casually. So I remove 2 2Ks from him. I go ahead and I'm like, you know what? It feels bad. Like I kind of want to deploy this Crocodile, because this Crocodile will put enough pressure on this Kaido to possibly kill it. And it'll also just allow me to play just a little bit more aggressive in the future. But paying 7 right now, after I've committed already to Dawn, is a little bizarre, right? Because that's a whole 9 commit. If I put 1 Dawn onto this Crocodile, it makes it so that my Desert Spot is free. But I don't have Desert Spot in hand. This is just me kind of like bluffing a spot at this point in time. Like I said, I'm still at 4 life, so I'm okay taking 1 hit from this Kaido to deploy this Crocodile. That's just how unbelievably strong this guy is in my deck. But let's see if he sticks. If I remember correctly, we're in for just, he goes ahead and reads it. I explain exactly what he does. He goes and swings at 5 at face. I go ahead and I pitch a Virgo. Again, these cards are mostly there for green, so I'm down with just dropping them. I've had so much draw power that we're fine with it. He goes ahead and I think swings at me for 10. And then I'm just going to take it. I don't want to go ahead and just, you know, drop my entire hand to defend this. And then he just 10 drops. That's just how powerful that Crocodile is. He just doesn't have, it looks like by doing this, it kind of shows me that hand is like very aggressive, doesn't have a lot of combo power. I'm at 9. Well, I haven't attached that on yet. I go ahead and I restart my board state, and now I have full Dawn advantage to him going low on Dawn. I get to play my Dawn out here. I go 6 at the face, and it's just a slow grind. I go ahead and I 5. I play an X-Drake. I'm just going to remove a card from your hand, and while playing a 5, and now he's down to 3 cards in hand. Go to 4. 4 cards in hand, 1 life. Let's get it. And I do have the blocker that's just casually good enough to deal with this big Kaido. Oh, Lord. But it's just really hard to close out these games. I'm going to go ahead and drop a Queen here now. Queen. Yeah, that card's just good. Finally, it does recycle itself. It allows for just a little bit of cycling. And it is just a 6k at the end of the day with a blocker stat line. Pitches a 2k. Meaning his hand is actually just super combo heavy. Goes 5 at my face. I pitch the, you know, big head. Swings with the Kaido. I miss all Sunday. Miss all Sunday will add me another Love Beam. Yeah, I'm down. I'm just going to keep drawing. I'm just going to double draw every time it's your turn. Use my turn to aggressively push to the board. And it just feels kind of nice. You just play this really awkwardly defensive game. I go 6 to face. You know, even if he goes ahead and blocks with the Queen, he still has to attach some Dawn. I go 6 again. He goes Bagua. 4. all I've done is attach 2 Dawn, and I've removed 2 cards from his hand, and I'm super down with it. I go ahead and I play a Bon Clay, which I know he's a 2k, but I kind of want to just see some cards, man. And I also got to put some cards down. It looks like my hand is very spell-based, and I just float 5 Dawn. Go ahead, sir. Onigashima, he's then bada bing, bada boom. He's back at 10, man. Jesus. Jesus, indeed. But he has to run out of steam at some point, eh? No? Maybe? He goes ahead and plays, he goes 7. 7's gonna -2. He's just playing cards that have no combo power at this time that also get a +1, that like on play delete something. So it is what it is. And I'm thinking of if I should defend this 12 drop. That's how, I mean, I just simply can. But is it the move? Now I'm in like a very spooky game state. Yeah, so I go ahead and my hand's just too full actually. I go ahead and I drop 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 9 plus another 4, so I have 8, so I'm at 13. That's just enough, and Crocodile plus Love Beam will then just double draw me. Then he goes 7 at my Drake. I kind of want to defend it because I need something to push. I go ahead and I Love Beam once again. And I do have this Queen in hand, and this Queen is kind of cool because it will allow me to surprise rush him. So I just need to get him low enough that get him within a threshold that I can finally finish off the game, but it's easier said than done. But I did fortunately get to another Miss All Sunday. Man, that card is kind of unbalanced in this deck. Let me just say. So we'll go 7 at leader. He's down to and he just blocks with the Queen. He's down to 1 card in hand. So I go up 6. He's basically got no combo power, and I'm kind of baited in. Like, I kind of want to Queen him here, but I feel like if I do and I don't kill him, then I might just suddenly be dead. So I just take it slow. There's no reason to rush here. You know, he's very low on hand size. We can outgrind him, and that is Yeah, I'm just, pretending to go to sleep there because my opponent's just frustrated, man. He goes ahead and 9-drops me, and just look at this board set. We got King, Kaido, Kaido. I've been Kaido twice. Miss All Sunday is going to go down. Add me the Love Beam. I don't believe I can defend this 12 this time around. So I will take this hit. Goes ahead and attaches a bit more Dawn. He goes 7 to my lead. And yeah, 7 is just not enough, brother. So I'll go ahead and pitch 1. Pitch the Desert Spada. Gonna look at the top 3. And then Crocodile effect, draw a card. I do add the beam. He's gonna go ahead and swing at me with the big Kaido here. And I'm just debating if I take it or not. With him being at 0 life here, no blockers, 1 Dawn up, I feel as though I'm just absolutely fine. I just misordered this. I go ahead, Queen, Love Beam to draw off the beam, and then I X Drake. So yep, I defend that guy too. 2 life, he goes swing with leader. I decide, sure, brother, now that you've committed that Dawn, I am down. And that most certainly has to be a mistake. Because here I'll just 5 face and 15 with Crocodile. Game. Game blouses, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. Burple. Certainly a very interesting deck, a lot of fun. I've been crafting this with boy, the national champion Andrew Duval, and we have just noticed ways that we can improve. This is version 1.0, which we might get a deck profile in the near future as we do continue to improve on the deck. On that same token, I do think Burple is in a really interesting spot, and all these decks that I had kind of like tossed to the side, like the green-red Luffy, and said they weren't as good on the tier list, are just kind of surprising me, and you can kind of take games. There's a lot of skill expression in this game, and the leaders, they all seem kind of like close, not like, obviously there are some that very much stand out above others, but even if you like a specific leader, don't give up. I'm pretty sure you can possibly take a lot of wins if you just get some practice on it. The blue-purple Crocodile deck really surprised me. This is one of my first matches with it. It isn't my first match, but it's one of like maybe my third match. And it did feel pretty good, especially into this grindy matchup. Something I did want to note here towards the end of the video. The longer the game goes, the higher the chance your opponent just makes mistakes. As you saw there, like over the course of the game, you can't tell me he didn't have the cards he needed. He had stage on curve, he Kaidoed, 3 Kaidos came at me, he kinged me multiple times, he queened me, and I was still able to push through it and defend. Of course, I did have Miss All Sunday, which really facilitates that, plus really good spells like Love Beam, but I never got to stick a 7-drop in any of these games. It lasted 1 turn once. So I never got the banish effect to really work in my favor. I never had multiples of him on the board. In the situations where you can get that to happen, oh my goodness, this deck feels crazy. Not only that, but again, long games, more mistakes, and if you're a cleaner player, you'll be able to defend easier, and since it's more of a rogue matchup or a rogue deck, people are not expecting or unaware of what your deck might even have. So use all of those tools to your advantage and possibly get some W's in your next tournament. So that's kind of it for the video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. And thank you so much once again for the support. If you're liking this content, please feel free to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you on the flippity. Bye.